Hi, I'm Olivia, and this is Ritual Kitchen, where I usually make some food and talk about something spiritual or symbolic or a different color or a different myth or a different book I've read. But today I'm just going to talk about a new recipe for health in my life, or you could also call it a new ritual, or it was at least a ritual for the last 30 days that I think will make permanent. And so I'm going to be talking about sleeping on the floor, which is something I didn't really see happening or popping up, but recently I saw a thing about it, and I immediately thought, yes, I need to try this. Like the last couple of months I've been trying to listen to my body more and let it decide, because it ultimately knows a lot more than my conscious mind does. So if I am getting a feeling, like if I read about sleeping on the floor and my body goes yes, then I am listening to it. So that's why I decided to try it out for a month. I know at least like some couple of my friends will be interested, and then I can share this with them, and maybe other people will be interested too. I just set up some yoga mats in the middle of the room and some blankets on it and tried it out for like 4 or 5 days, and then I was already like, yep, this is good, I'm doing it. And I sold my bed frame, I propped my mattress up against the wall in case of guests, friends, quitting, whatever. Yeah, but it has been a month and I want to continue. I'm going away for a little while, so I'm not gonna really, not necessarily have the option to always sleep on the floor, depending on, whether there are scorpions around or snakes or large spiders that I haven't encountered before. So I think I'm not going to take my chances. I'll probably sleep in beds. But otherwise, when I come back, I'm going back to the floor. Some of the reasons why it's turned out to be so amazing is I have a relatively small room, and now I have like what feels like twice as much space because the bed's not here. I can just like pack up my mats and my blankets and my sheets, or my comforter and my pillows in a couple of seconds, and I've got like all this much more space. Another benefit has been just kind of being able to not roll out of bed, but roll the covers off of me and just like go into some yoga poses, or when I'm falling asleep, I've been doing, restorative yin yoga poses because I'm already perfectly flat on the ground, and I can just like get my pillows set up and do some really nice spinal twists before I sleep, and that's been super nice because you don't have that whole, oh, maybe I should do some yoga before I sleep, and then like, you have to get your mat out and whatever, and then you climb into bed. It's a lot more fluid. Yeah, so my room's a lot opener, it's a lot easier to clean, there's less dust because I don't have like, dust accumulating under the bed. I have less furniture, so the next time I move, I won't have to move as much. There's something really freeing about that. I'm kind of like into getting rid of as many possessions as possible anyways. Yeah, it's also in the same way, it's kind of freeing to know that I can now kind of sleep wherever, if I were to crash at a friend's on the other side of the world, or stay with strangers in the middle of nowhere, then I know I can just, get out a mat, lay on the floor. If I go camping, it's not going to be a problem. My back will already be used to it, so I won't have like the aches and pains from having to adjust to a harder surface. There's also no temptation to just like climb into a cozy bed and get all covered up in blankets and watch shows or YouTube or stuff like that. Like it kind of, it's making me have to choose more consciously what I want to do, because that like lazy bed option is kind of out the window. So I've got my comfy chair for comfy stuff, but it's more, it seems to encourage more of a conscious use of my time. I definitely don't miss my bed or mattress. I just think that, you know, in the future when I have a space or a bigger room or like a whole apartment, that I would probably invest in a really nice sofa. When you're asleep, you're not thinking about being in a comfy bed anyways with tons of pillows, and you're just asleep, so you might as well sleep in a way that's like possibly a bit better for your body. Yeah, and the biggest reason why I found it to be beneficial and why I'm gonna keep on doing it is that my back feels better and my body feels better. I wake up in the morning, I have no problems getting up. I don't have to, you know, do this and make my spine realign and my bones like go back into position. Like everything is already as it should be, and because, you know, I've just spent 8 hours in a position that my body is more used to. Mattresses have only been around for hundreds of years, but not the thousands of years that our bodies as human beings have been around. So technically we are more used to sleeping on hard surfaces on the ground than we are sleeping on cushy mattresses. So I'm always looking for these kinds of back to the roots situations. Like I'm that person who wears the ugly gym shoe. Like when the gyms were open, I was that person who had those ugly shoes with all the like individual toes that were super flat. I found it spoke to a lot more of my muscles when I was working out. So yeah, now I'm doing the same thing for my back or my like whole body, and it feels really great. I think my posture has improved. It's a lot easier to just, you know, sit up straight like this. Yeah, it just generally feels easier for me to get in proper spinal alignment. Yeah, and the last reason that I'm gonna keep on doing it is that it feels incredibly grounding. Like you're closer to the ground. I just feel more connected to the earth, even though I'm not, there's another apartment between me and the ground, but there's something extremely comforting about being close to the ground, having more of my body touch the ground, and yeah, kind of like that beautiful kind of pressure that you get when someone is spooning you. It's just like a nice hard surface or a gravity, who knows, but for some reason it feels really good. So I can recommend anyone to try it out, maybe inch into it, do it for 2 nights and then take a break or something. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know that much, but I just know what my own personal body likes, so I can recommend trying it out, but also try it out while knowing what your body can and cannot do. Of course, there are many cultures around the world who still sleep on the floor, sleep outside on the ground under the stars, and they've figured it out. You know, sometimes we get blinded by the collective decisions of the Western world that don't actually always mean the best thing for us. Yeah, if you enjoyed this, then please like and subscribe. Usually I do lots of cooking videos. Cooking and food and health and ritual are all interconnected, so I felt like this was relevant anyways. Yeah, thank you for watching and see you soon.